This is about the systemic circulation, but this is on the torso. So let's have an idea about the systemic circulation on the torso too. This is a right atrium. This is a right ventricle, just for orientation. This will be the left atrium. This will be the left ventricle. The left atrium is actually in the back, so you don't see it at this point. You see part of it extending here, which is called the auricle. The auricle is just an extension. So what you're looking at here, this is the left auricle coming from the left ventricle in the back, and this part right here is the right auricle coming from the right atrium, and you can see actually the right atrium at this point. The arteries, you can see here, this is the ascending aorta, this is the aortic arch, and this part starting from this point, and you can see it here too, this will be the brachiocephalic trunk, and this will be the left common carotid. And if you actually follow it up, this model is a little bit different because it will show you the bifurcation of the common carotid. So common carotid will go all the way until this point, which is the upper part or upper border of the thyroid cartilage, and then it will split into this one inside here. You can come a little bit more closer. This one here, and this will be the internal carotid. And if you follow it up here, you see it entering to the skull. This point right here that I'm showing you, this is the inlet or entrance to the carotid canal. So it will enter and go to the brain inside. So this is for the feeding inside. The other branch, which is this one right here, and this is the external carotid. It will give you, like, here's one branches will give you different branches, but up until you get the common carotid all the way to here, split into internal and external. This is just the continuation of the internal as it enter. If you go down, on the other hand, the descending aorta starts from this point here. The rest is hiding behind the heart and then behind this, and it will start to show up at this point here. So this is the abdominal aorta. The thoracic is obviously in the thorax. It's hiding behind the heart. This is the abdominal aorta. If you follow it down all the way, it will end up splitting into right common iliac, left common iliac. And if you go down, this is actually showing you the external iliac, and this is the internal iliac. So right common iliac, right external iliac, right internal, and you see it's going internally to the pelvic region. So this is the right internal pelvic. On the other hand, if you look at this one, this is the other, this area here again is called the bifurcation, when it's in this up splitting into two parts. So this will be the left common iliac, this will be the left external, and you can see, if you go down here, you can see the left internal iliac showing up here. This is for the arteries. If you look at the veins, on the other hand, this is the superior vena cava, this one up here. The inferior is here. We don't see it at this point. It should be like here. So it starts from this point. This is where you see an opening here, and this opening is for the inferior vena cava. It will come from the right, or going to actually to the right atrium, but here it is. It's showing down, going down here, and you see it all the way until it ends up splitting into two branches, which is called the level of the bifurcation of the inferior vena cava. Exactly same thing as we said in the arteries, say it in the veins. So this will be the this part right here. It's hiding a little bit, you don't see it very clear, but this part right here, if you remove this, it will be here. So this part right here, this will be the right common iliac vein, left common iliac vein. And if you look here, this is the right external, and this is right internal. And then the left side, same thing. Left external iliac vein, left internal iliac vein. And this is the end of the bifurcation of those two major structures. You can see actually a couple more small structures. Let's go through it. As you go down here, you see the right renal artery, vein I mean, right renal vein going to the right kidney, left renal vein going to the left kidney. And you can also see the right renal artery feeding the right kidney, the left renal artery feeding the left kidney. And here are the three branches that come from the anterior aspect of the aorta. 1, 2, 3. The first one always, whether you see the branches or not, the first one not the one right above the renal vein. No, the first one up here. It looks different in the other model, but remember the rule. 1, 2, 3. Celiac trunk. At this model, it's not giving you the branches, but celiac trunk, superior mesenteric, inferior mesenteric. How to recognize them? The top one is always celiac trunk. The one that's hanging above the renal vein, that will be superior mesenteric. The one that's under the renal vein and go all the way closer to the bifurcation of the aorta, so it's right above that, that will be inferior mesenteric. Celiac artery, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery. And this is what we can see in this model, the part of the circulation. Actually, if you look here, I don't know if we went through that or not, like right here, it's showing you the right subclavian, and this is the left subclavian. And obviously, if we follow it down, you see that the left subclavian is coming from the aorta, and the left common carotid is coming from the aorta. This will be the brachiocephalic trunk giving you this, which is the right common iliac. That will give external and internal. And this would be the right subclavian artery. And this is what we can see at this model of the torso.